Welcome back to Wasted, the podcast where we listen to those who know weight loss best. I'm talking about my plus size baddies. Hi, I'm Corey, your host and resident plus size baddie. I used to be 664 pounds. I've lost over 450 pounds, and in the past 5 years, completely transformed my life. You may know me from TLC's Too Large. I think it's now called Dangerously Obese. We'll get to those names in a second. But thank you for tuning into this podcast, liking this podcast. I appreciate it so much. I put a lot of work into these solo episodes, and I'm so excited to begin having guests on this podcast. But for the most part, it's just been me out here talking, giving you my story, my tips, and my tricks. And as I said, very soon, we're going to be having guests come on this show. And that way you can hear it not just from me, but other plus size baddies as well. So, as per normal now, we're going to start with my non-scale victories this week. And I want you to comment below what your non-scale victories were this week, because weight loss isn't about what you lose. It's all about what you gain. And so for me, this week, girl, I went to go get groceries. And here I'm living in the Netherlands. I don't have a car. And so the way I get places is either by walking or public transportation. So I walk to the grocery store. It's about a 20-minute walk from where I'm at right now. Get to the store, I pick out all my groceries, and in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna catch this bus on the way back. I bought so many groceries, and I get to that bus stop, and the bus driver pulls up, and he's like, "The bus is canceled. There was an accident, and so we're not going my way." I had so many he felt so bad when he told me that because I'm just sitting there carrying all these groceries. Thank goodness it was cold. I mean, I say thank goodness, fuck it being cold, but thank goodness it was because my frozen items, I knew that I could walk back from where that bus stop was home. I walked there, no problem. Now I'm just walking back with a fuck ton of groceries. But I did it. I did it. I walked back with all those groceries. No problem. It was cold as shit. Was I freezing my ass off? Yeah, but I was able to do that. I was able to be like, "Oh, I don't have a way to get home with my groceries. Let me walk my ass home." 164-pound me could barely walk from the front of the Walmart to just past that first set of registers. That's all it took for me to get winded. And now I'm walking 30 minutes home with arms full. And I mean, full. I wish I had taken a picture of how many groceries I got that day. I was really confident that I was going to get that bus on the way back. I'm so excited to hear what yours are because the non-scale victories are what make me want to keep going with weight loss. If I look at the scale, I want to off myself. But if I'm focused on my non-scale victories, I'm like, I've got this weight loss thing in the bag. Look at everything I'm gaining and getting back. So as you're beginning to lose weight, in the middle of losing weight, even when you're at your goal, be looking for all those non-scale victories. No matter who you are, no matter where you are with your weight loss journey, those non-scale victories are what's going to fuel you and keep you going. Not the scale. Fuck that bitch. I'm talking about your non-scale victories. And so today we get to talk about confidence. And this isn't going to be an episode where I explain to you all the ins and outs of confidence. No. I just want to talk me to you about confidence, what it means, and how you yourself should be the most confident bitch at the party. Excuse me, I'm gay. I'm going to use the B term as a term of endearment. When the TV show came out, the thing I got across the board was, Corey, you're so confident. How are you so confident? The reality is that I lived in a world where I thought I was hot shit. There was nothing I couldn't do, no one who could get in my way. I was a badass on a mission. Didn't matter if I was losing weight in school, there was nothing I couldn't do. However, and the TV show helped a lot with it, but I lived in a world where I thought everyone hated me. When I look at myself through the eyes of someone else, I truly thought that people hated me. Now, some of that has been given to us from fat culture, but when it came to confidence, I had none in terms of how I expected other people to see me. But you know what I did have confidence in? Myself and how I was going to be seen. But if you're a plus size person and you're struggling with confidence, guess what? Everything in society has been made for you to question your self-worth. Everything, diet culture, what we see on the media, what we see on the news, what we see from our peers, what we hear from our family, what we get in school, everything, even your doctors have made you feel like you were less than for being at your size. Guess what? The TV show that I went on, the very first part of the episode, it's me walking out of my room, right? And there's this girl, so sweet, but she's on the floor filming me at an angle that I can only describe as grotesque. It's so low and it's to make me look so fat. Why? So that way, when there's a reveal, Corey, it looks like you lost more weight than you actually did. So we go in the kitchen and they have me pour this entire box of cereal into a huge bowl and then pour a half-gallon milk in there. Now, I don't want to get into cereal logistics, but we can go back to, I think it was last episode where I talked about my obsession with Tony the Tiger. I would never disrespect cereal like that. Don't you bring that cereal hate into my house. But at that point in time, I was doing what they wanted me to do. And then skip forward, me and Renee are eating ungodly amount of donuts in a car on our way to the homeless shelter. Half of those boxes were empty. Half of those boxes, there were no donuts. So not only are we feigning the fact that we're donating to charity, we also have these huge boxes that I'm just gnawing on. Why? Because that's the version of myself I have to be. That's what it is to be fat before the weight loss. That's who you are. Everything in our culture has been made so that you, as a plus size person, hate yourself. And so when people see my episode and they're like, Corey, you were so confident, I literally had to fake my death. I'm not kidding. The way they were fattening me up before the show, trying to show all those donuts, trying to show me eating that entire bowl of cereal, all of that, absolute bullshit. Never in my life would I do any of that. Never in my life. Would I go get a dozen donuts and eat them? Yeah, fucking right I would. So would anyone. And the reason I was so positive and so confident on that TV show is one, I very much loved myself. I loved who I was and everything I brought to the table, and I loved my story. When it got to the TV show, I was met with this idea that I have to be someone I'm not, that I have no value until I lose weight. Are you kidding me? I overcame homelessness at 664 pounds. That is not an accomplishment that came with weight loss. That came before weight loss. And so don't sit here and have me in a room and try to tell me that I need to do all these things to be some acceptable version so that when they watch my story, they can feel more moved. And so those are just two small examples, but it was a consistent thing throughout the entire show until after the weight loss surgery. I couldn't just have a bowl of cereal. No, I had to down the entire box with a half-gallon of milk. I couldn't just have a donut or two. I had to eat them until I was literally sick. But in order to be on that TV show, that's what I had to do. I literally had all these producers telling me, Corey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to be this fat, you need to fatten this up. They literally brought me McDonald's and asked me if I would eat it on camera. These are people who do not care about the plus size community. They only care about making you a level of fat that can be accepted by those around you. Because you can't be a fat person and have confidence. You can't be a fat person and be that bitch. You can't be a fat person and overcome homelessness. You can't be a fat person and XYZ. Guess what? I did. When you look at my show and you're like, Corey, you're so confident, you're so positive. That's because I literally had to fake my own death in order to get my version of my life on that episode. We are filming production this entire time. And luckily I had an amazing producer. Well, I had two amazing producers, but I had an amazing producer who we would film things and I'd be like, I don't like that. And she'd be like, okay, well, we'll film it this way. And so a lot of the scenes that made it on TV, there's two versions, the version they wanted and the version I wanted. Now, guess what? I quit the show and I say, tell them I died. Tell Dr. Proctor, cut too close to surgery. Corey, what about your contract? There was no contract, no nothing that would prevent me from that. You can tell them I died. I don't care. I went to see Dr. Proctor before my weight loss surgery and I weighed in and he told me how much weight I needed to lose. And I told him in that meeting, I'll double it. Full confidence, full everything. That didn't make it in the show. But you know what they did? They went through and they Franken-clipped it so that I sounded, woe is me, that I was so sad. And I'm telling you, these people would be in a call with me and say, Corey, will you tell us how sad you were? And I would have to sit there and go, I am so sad that y'all bitches can't shut the fuck up about how sad I should be. Are you kidding me? Like, I got to the point that I was just livid. I refused to answer that question. They wouldn't take that answer, so much so that even when I came back to film the Where Are They Now, they were still asking me the same question so that they could get a voice clip and manipulate it so that I sounded sad about my surgery date being changed. You think I'm going to be upset because the doctor was like, he's going to die? He didn't say I couldn't get the surgery. I'm still on track for the surgery. But it goes back to the way that these types of shows are produced. And it's not this show. It's every show in America. You have no value until you lose weight. You can have a little bit of value before, but all you're doing, even in TV shows, if you're a plus size person, is eating excessively. I remember in 7th grade, I went and I had this play, an audition. I made it in 6th grade. 7th grade, I went there and I got one line, which was me stuffing food in my mouth and then saying, "How about them 49ers?" That's what I had to do. I had to eat so much fucking food. It was insane. One, I'm gay and don't care about sports. Two, I'm gay and that's the line you're going to give me? Wrong. No, no, no. I bowed out of that too. Why? Because it's just this way society has become about plus size people, and that the only way you have any type of value is when you lose weight. But not even that. You can't just be a fat person. You have to be an excessively fat person. And so when we're out in society and people see us as fat, they think that we're at home doing what my 600-pound life was doing. Why? Because I think, if anything, my episode showed that we don't need to be sad and oh, boo-boo-hoo because I'm fat. No, 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 no. I'm fat. I got weight to lose, but guess what? I'm going to lose it like a bad bitch. You step on the scale, I'll twirl on that scale. I was a plus size baddie. But I was trying to be made into this sad version of myself, and I just wasn't having it. And so I quit the show. And guess what? And they were like, Corey, you have to come back. And I was like, the fuck I am? Are you kidding me? I've spent an entire time filming just trying to be this extra fat version of myself. And that's not who I am at all. And the only thing I care about with any of this is me being me. I love me. I love who I am, and I'm not about to put this shit on TV. I got my surgery. You can tell him I died. Dr. Proctor cut a little too close. I don't care. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm out. And so what did they do? They caved. They gave me everything I asked for, including the producer who had final say on my clips. I told them, I don't care if it's the best clip you've ever gotten in your filming history. If it's not me and it's not my story, it doesn't make it in. And I say all that to say, that's my episode. And I had the privilege to be able to quit. That was a privilege that I had in that moment, and not everyone else on the show had that same privilege. So I quit. And guess what? When you go back and you look at the series and you see my episode is the most positive. Not because I'm the most positive person out of that bunch, but because I'm the one who stood up and said, not on my fucking watch, tell him I died. But how was I able to do that? Confidence. I had confidence in who I was in my story. And that's what I was telling. That's what I was proud of, is who I am, what I had been through, and where I was going. And they gave me every single thing I wanted. The producer who would help me say, we'll film it their way, and then we'll film it our way. That girl, she's the one who had final edits on my show. She was the one who would say, this makes it in, this makes it out. That was her job. And then you have the other producer who's going with me filming on site because I don't trust their people. I don't want to be around them. But I know but you'll look at my story. You'll see this entire series, and then you'll look at me and you'll be like, man, he's so positive. He's so confident. So is everyone else on the show. So is everyone else in season 1, and so is everyone else in season 2. I promise you, all of them are confident baddies. Why? Because we're just confident people. You may not have an amazing amount of confidence, but you can still be confident. Confident in who you are, confident in what you can do. Now, with me, I'm a person who is so confident in who I am and what I can do. I have integrity, and that integrity makes me so proud of who I am, knowing that I will do the right thing even when no one's looking. That makes me so happy. The other thing that I love about myself is that I can do anything. I truly believe that I can do anything. It's not just this TV show. It's all throughout our lives as plus size people. My best friend from childhood grew up in the same neighborhood as me. We're going to the same elementary, middle, high school together. And this woman is absolutely stunning, breathtakingly, top to bottom. I wish I had a body come close to as beautiful as she is. But guess what? We're in a classroom full of all of our peers, and they're all twig thin. The wind blows, half the class goes missing. We have to go and search for them. But this girl, yeah, she had meat on her bones, but oh my God, was she more attractive and more beautiful than anyone else. This girl is drop dead gorgeous. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of friends from high school and middle school, and they are some hot bitches. But this was someone who was taught for so long that their image of who they should be was this skinny white girl. And I'm like, don't play where you can't compete. That is not where you belong. You are so effing hot and attractive. And that was my best friend. And guess what? At the end of the show, they wanted me to come back. This is after I had quit. They had already got me back. And they were like, we want you to come do the Where Are They Now? And I was like, I have full control over it. I get say in what we do, and I'll come back and I'll do it. And so I created the idea that we were going to take the names of the show, put it on my chest, too large, and then to whatever they told us we were. Why? The whole point of this was that society is going to tell you you're too large, you're too fat, you're dangerously obese, fuck that name. All of these other words that are meant to make you feel like you are less than for being fat. And when we put them all over our bodies, and guess what we said? Fuck you, you've lost your mind. But then I have this African goddess next to me whose body is thick in all the right ways. Even when she's going on television and she's looking online, she's seen all of these thin bodies. Meanwhile, she's built like Aphrodite, having issues with herself and her body. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? And she is having to sit there and question, am I beautiful? Do I meet this beauty standard? She gets her own standard, which is Aphrodite goddess. But the same goes for you. It doesn't have to be in school or on the television. If you go to a movie theater or a restaurant and you're nervous about fitting in the booth or the seat, when you go to the beach and you're nervous about, should I wear a one piece, a two piece if you're a girl? And these are all things that everyone struggles with. And it's just part of how society has built us to be. But the way in which you become confident, the way in which you find that esteem to walk out and say, fuck you, fuck society, it all starts with you learning to believe in yourself. And so at the beginning of this podcast, I said that I lived in this world where I thought that everyone hated me, even though I loved myself. And granted, the television show, it did help a lot of that because people were able to see the positive side. And I was like, oh, people don't hate me. But not everyone has that experience. And so if you're a plus size person, you probably have that same thought that, well, the world hates me, or that I need to be presentable, or I shouldn't be seen unless I'm X weight. And that if you're not X weight, you shouldn't be sitting at home. You should be at a gym 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And then when you're finally at the weight they've decided you should be, you're then free to re-exist in society and maybe sit down if you want, but don't get too comfortable there. It's all bullshit. Say it with me. It is all bullshit. It's made up rules from made up people for what? This whole idea that you need to shrink or be less than is because someone else doesn't want to feel bad about themselves. Is so that someone can sit at home, watch on TV and go, man, I may struggle with my weight, but at least I'm not eating 40 donuts in the fucking car. Yeah, nobody is. But it's all a ploy so that other people can feel better for themselves. So let me ask you this. Are you going to sit here and have no self-confidence so that other people can have confidence? No, you yourself need to have confidence in who you are and what you can do. You need to look at you and think, I'm the greatest person to ever walk this fucking earth. Why? Because you deserve to have that level of confidence in who you are. That level of confidence is fun. It makes life fun. One thing I don't want you to walk away from this podcast and see is that you take the advice I'm about to give you and you use it, and then someone reaches out and they have something hateful to say or something mean to say. Guess what? Fuck them. Those people who reach out who want to say something, those people are so miserable with themselves that they then need to turn and make you miserable. When you think about comments on the internet, I don't care what the fuck people sit and comment. Actually, I'll take a quick story. I got one really fucking funny comment, which was at the beginning of the show, right after it just came out. It had me in that red suit and someone called me a thumb. And if you don't know what Spy Kids is, or you don't know what a thumb is, look it up. It is the funniest thing that anyone has ever said to me in my entire life. Why? Because I did look like a fucking thumb. But I don't know what the intention of that comment was, but I took it and I laughed. But there's a lot of comments where people get and they'll be like, I know what all that loose skin under there looks like. When have you ever been that sad, miserable, and depressed that you have to go on someone else's post and tell them what a piece of shit they are? Never. At least for me, and I hope never for you, because the reality is that when you're engaging in those behaviors, your life is absolutely miserable. Everywhere you turn in life, you're going to see signs that say that you shouldn't be comfortable in your own body. That in order to be accepted and seen, that you have to be a certain weight. And all of that, bullshit. And so the question is, how do I build confidence, Corey? How do I feel like I'm the baddest bitch in the room? Well, this same principle applies to almost every aspect of weight loss, which is if you do good for yourself, you feel good for yourself, and then you want to do more good. It's like that idea that you pay it forward, and whatever you do to someone, they then do to 3 other people. It's like that, but with your body and the way you see yourself. I know for me, when I go get a haircut, ooh, I go get my eyebrows done, and I'm walking out that room like hot shit. Am I in tears because it hurt? Yeah. But am I hot shit in tears while it hurt? Fucking right I am. And so when I go and I do things to take care of myself, whether it be that or even weight loss, you lose a few pounds, skinny who? Me? Bitch. Oh, I almost fell through that crack, but it's just the truth. When you do good for you, you feel good about you. If you're not doing anything good for you, then how are you going to feel good? And so we can talk about self-care more in depth later, and people will say, well, self-care isn't always good. In this case, self-care can be good. Self-care can be you doing your eyebrows a certain way, you going to get your hair done a different color, whatever makes you feel confident, take that and use that. And guess what? On those days, weeks when I got my hair cut, my weight loss was in check because I was hot shit walking around that day. Couldn't catch me slipping if you tried. But then there's days where I don't feel good about myself and I don't want to do any of that. And I don't feel like I'm a hot, bad bitch. Some days you just take the day. And that is how the day is. Then you take a nap, wake up, and you're back to being a bad bitch. Let me ask you this question. What would you do for someone who you don't like? I'd watch them fall, eat shit maybe, but like that's the most I got. What would I do to someone who I cared about? I would move mountains for that person. And so when it comes to weight loss, you have to care about you and you have to love you. Weight loss is all about losing weight, but that does not mean that you need to be losing your personality. You need to be having fun with it. It doesn't need to be miserable. If you're doing weight loss and it's making you miserable, you're doing it wrong. You're going to have times where it's rough and it's hard and you have to push through. And those moments where you push through, they're really going to be rewarding and you're going to feel that much more of a bad bitch after walking around like, oh, who is she? Oh, the wind's making me feel wobbly today. Hope it doesn't take me away. But that's the truth. And so when it comes to you, you have to love you. You have to be confident in who you are. And the more confidence you have about yourself, the better you're going to feel, the better decisions you're going to be making because you don't hate this bitch no more. You love this bitch and we're treating you like you love you. So what can you actually do to build confidence? First thing you can do to become more confident is start loving you, posting the body that you're in. You don't have to post it on social media if you don't want to. But when you're sharing pictures of you with loved ones or privately with your friends, post you, not the slimmed version of you. Show people who you are. Don't try to show up as anyone else. And I say this knowing that this is something that I've struggled with my entire life. But I now hate filters on me. A huge breaking point for me when it came to filters was that I had an ex. You know, you ask the person you're dating, you're like, what pictures are you showing of me? And this dude who I was dating showed a picture of me, and it was the skinniest picture of me that there was. That wasn't the problem. The problem is that there were so many filters that were put on me, I didn't even recognize who I was. And that's what you're showing people. And now I have to go meet them? Do you know how that's going to make me feel? How insecure I'm going to be? No. You're going to see me, all of me, from the beginning, no questions asked. That way I don't feel bad when I come around you and I feel like I have to shrink. So that's the first thing is take out the filters. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel beautiful. But know that a filter is not what you need to do to make you feel beautiful. There will always be people who like you no matter your size. We can get more into dating another week. However, when it comes to dating and posting pictures of yourself, post the entire picture of your body. If you're on a dating profile, don't do your face or try to show a picture from you 5 years ago where you look skinnier. No. Post you today, how you look, your body, all of it. As a gay plus size guy, I make sure that if my picture ever appears somewhere, you at least see me from the waist up. Why? Because I don't want you to see me. I got a skinny face. I want you to understand from the beginning I'm a thick bitch. And guess what? There were so many years where I would just put my face and I would get no bitches. It wasn't until I started posting my whole body that, oh my God, they came out of the woodworks. I would have, where the fuck were y'all in high school? These men came out of the woodworks, off the roof. These men came from the attic. I don't know where all these men came from. But it's when I started posting pictures of my body. Now, let me walk this road very carefully with you. There are going to be some people you meet on dating apps that want you to stay the size you are. Those people, you need to move on. If it's a hookup situation, hit it and quit it and move on. But if you're looking at someone and you're looking at them long term, find someone who's going to love your body and is fine with you losing weight. Find somebody who's going to love you and support you in your dreams. And if your goal is to lose weight and be a skinny bitch, then you need to find someone who's going to support that and get you down there. Doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the affection of men who like your body as is. Tell me I'm a hot bitch. But just be careful and don't put yourself in a situation where you sacrifice your own weight loss goal because you have someone who wants you to be at the weight you're at, if not bigger. You don't want to be with those people. You want people who are going to be there and support your weight loss goals, not their version of your weight loss goals, your weight loss goals. But post pictures of yourself and your body, and you'll get men blowing you up saying, "What's up, mama? What's up, my dude?" That's all you're going to get. I'm telling you, do it. And if you're in a relationship and you send them adult pictures of yourself, guess what? Send it as is. They've seen it all before. They're not looking for this hyper fixed version of you. Send them as is. And the cool thing about when you do this is that you have this person who's going to reciprocate and who's going to tell you that you are the hottest piece of ass to walk this earth. You're sitting in this photo and you're like, oh my God, they're going to think I have stretch marks. And they don't care any about that. They saw butt and they're like, well, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the best butt in the world. That's what you want. Get you someone who's going to love your body no matter what. But the way you do that is you start sharing your body. You don't be ashamed of it. You put it out there. And when you put it out there, you're going to be shocked at what people say and where they come out of the woodworks. And they're like, you're beautiful. Now, when you put your body out there, you are also going to have people who are like, what are you doing? They're going to be like, ew, why are you doing that? You know why they're pissed? It's because you're pulling the bitches that they're trying to. The men are more attracted to you. They're going to try to attack you to make them feel better about themselves. And don't ever let anybody use you as a reason for themselves to feel better. You can tell them to fuck right off, push them off a cliff, whatever you have to do. But under no circumstances should you hear that feedback and make you question yourself or your self-worth. I don't know if y'all remember when we were talking about willpower and I talked about motivation. And you have intrinsic motivation and you have extrinsic motivation. You can also have that intrinsic self-worth and extrinsic. And so if you tie your self-worth to the extrinsic, to other people, then guess what? Your self-worth and your self-confidence will always be fluctuating. But if you tie it to you and you say, I don't care who the fuck you are or what the fuck you say, I am hot shit head to toe. Ooh, 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 who is she? Though that is what you need, that unshakable confidence where other people can say whatever they want. And guess what? When you're in that room, it is so hard to be in that room and go, ooh, I feel alone. I feel so scared. Think back to this podcast. If that's what you have to do, think back to this podcast and know that Corey would have his ass right next to me going, ooh, girl, get it. You need people around you to hype you up, but you also have to go out and you have to let yourself be seen. I have lived in a world for so long that I feel like I can't go out and be seen. It was a huge reason why I was off social media for the longest time, but I feel like I haven't arrived yet and I'm always waiting to arrive. And that when I arrive, when I finally hit that goal, then I'll have an invitation to the table and I can show up as a skinny person and be able to live my life. And has that ever served me? No, because the truth is that it's a journey. I'm on the highway. And so I'm going from plus sizeville to Skinnyville. You don't even have to be going to Skinnyville. You can stop wherever along that highway you want that makes you feel happy and confident. But you're on that highway, you're going to have to stop at gas stations and you're going to have to be seen at some point. And so walk in there with your head held high, and you've heard it 1,000 times. Fake it till you make it. The thing with confidence is that you may not have it, but you put yourself in a situation and you give yourself the opportunity to be confident. Even if you fake it, you're going to see the reactions from other people, how other people pull you in. It's magnetic. Confidence is magnetic. And so be confident in those situations. Allow it to pull people in. When you start, though, we're going to go back to therapy here and say, when you start these things, you can do it in any environment you want to, but try to start it with what I call a sterile environment. That's what my therapist called it, which is where you begin to express this new activity in a place where you know it will be appreciated just as you build confidence with it. So go to the gym. I know you're so scared. They're going to be looking at me because I'm fat. Wrong. They're going to be looking at you like, ooh, she's double cheeked up on that squat machine. They're going to be looking at you like, ooh, look at him run on that treadmill. That's what they're going to be looking at. The worst you're going to get is some guy coming over and telling you how to do it right. Say, oh, your position's wrong on this. This is how you should do it. And guess what? All those men who would come up and do that to me in the gym would also end up in my DMs later. It was the way they were flirting with me. Let yourself be seen. Go to the beach in a one piece, two piece, whatever makes you feel confident, but go out there, be seen, and don't let a single bitch look at you the wrong way. Show people who you are, even if you fail, even if you stop, even if you restart your weight loss journey. Show up and be who you are and allow people to love you as you are. You're always going to have, again, that bitch who wants to come through, run her little mouth, and guess what? She's so upset with you. And you know why? That girl is upset with you. It is because you're not the version of fat that she saw on TV. And so you're not doing that. You're not abiding by the plus size rule set we've been given, which is that you have to hide who you are. No, no, no. You're going out and you're being yourself. People are going to call it disgusting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They can all die. Do what you have to do to be confident. And it's going to be this compounding interest effect. Start wearing what you want to wear. You're not wearing stuff that's acceptable for fat people. You're wearing stuff that makes you feel confident and you feel like a baddie. Whether that's me in a crop top at the pool or you in whatever skin tight outfit you want to wear it. Love the body that you are in and dress it how you want to dress. Go places, do the thing. Go do mini golf. You want to go do go-karts? Even if you can't fit in the go-karts, go out there and have fun. Show up. Let yourself be seen. Stop hiding away from people. Take it from someone who's done it. That is the worst thing that you can do. But if you think that you're going to sit here and just will yourself to confidence, that's half the battle. The other half is actually doing the things so that you feel confident about yourself, so that you feel proud about yourself. The easiest thing you can do, get your hair done, get your nails did, whatever you got to do, whatever that little thing is that makes you feel like you're that bitch, go get it done. Whatever you're going to do that's going to make you feel confident, do that. Feel confident. And then use that confidence as the pay it forward, where you do one thing confident. Now you're like, oh shit, who is she? We don't know her. Better get her this, that, and the other. And you start taking care of yourself. And then there's going to come a time we're going to go to the scale and you're going to have all these things and you feel so confident, right? And then you go to that fucking scale and you step on it and it tells you something you don't want to hear. It says, oh, looks like you gained a little bit of weight this week or XYZ. I want you at that point, not to throw away your confidence. I want you to throw away that fucking scale. I want you to be done with that scale. I want you to focus on the behaviors and the habits and all of that with which you need to get to your goal weight. And the scale will follow, I promise, but fall in love with the action. And it's time to throw that fucking scale out because it's going to ruin your confidence. You're going to hop on it and you're going to see a number and it's not reflective of all the hard work you've put in. It's not reflective of who you are. It's just a number on a scale, but we give it such meaning. And that's not true for the scale. It's also when we're out and about and when we're with people. I said at the beginning of this, I love me and I love who I am, but I lived in a world for so long where I thought that everyone else hated me. And the truth of the matter is that that's not the case. Look at the reception I had from the television show. But that's the first time I put myself out there where I was able to get that type of reception and that type of love from people. And so put yourself out there, give yourself the opportunity to get that love from people because you need that love from people. But do whatever it takes for you to begin to feel confident in yourself. You can already start thinking, I'm sure in your head, there's a checklist of things that you could do right now that would make you feel confident. Take that and run with it. And do me a favor. Well, actually, do me two favors. The first is to like this podcast, subscribe, and comment below what your non-scale victories are. The second is that I used to be 664 pounds. I have lost a significant amount of weight. But I refuse to distance myself from plus size people. I've been overweight my entire life. I am currently the same size that I was in middle school. Middle school. Can you believe that? It's this thing that we all do. It's infighting. It's an actual term. But as you begin to lose weight, understand that you have humble beginnings and that you're a plus size baddie then and you're a plus size baddie now. But never in your life should you ever, and I mean ever, opt to put down another plus size person, regardless of where you are with your journey. If anything, you need to be uplifting and supporting other plus size baddies. When you get to the finish line, that means that you got a whole bunch of your peers back there running behind you. Help them get there. Do not turn your back and say, well, I'm not like those fat people. I'll see health influencers all the time. And it's why I'm so picky about who I'm going to have come talk on this podcast. They'll say things like, I don't take advice from anyone with over 10% body fat. Excuse me, chunky monkey. Do you not remember what your starting weight was? Did you not forget you were a chunky monkey? And that's why I love this podcast, because I want to have plus size baddies on here who are going to support each other, who are going to care for each other. At the beginning of this podcast, I said, do not let anyone, and I mean anyone, use you to feel better about themselves. If you go out to the store and you have someone who comes up to your cart and goes, oh, you're getting all that? You have my permission to be the most obnoxious bitch that you can. Why? Because they've got to learn their lesson. If we're all being too kind and not passing out lessons, no one's learning them. So be as obnoxious as you can. Do whatever you have to do to protect your peace, but do not let it disrupt your peace. Do not let it make you question your self-worth. Do not make it question the progress that you are making and who you are. What's in your grocery cart is what's in your grocery cart. When you go to the pool and you're wearing your one piece or two piece and you're looking like a hot bitch out there, and some miserable cunt wants to walk over and say, there's children, you shouldn't be wearing that. Push her in the pool. Real quick, just give her a nice little shove. And this is true wherever you're going to be. There are going to be people who do not want you to be happy and to exist in your body. And those are the same people that even when you lose weight, they'll be commenting and saying, I bet you have a lot of gross loose skin under there. What? I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Those are the type of people who are out there, and you need to be okay with not caring about them or what they think, because guess what? Their opinion meant nothing to you yesterday. Why the fuck does it mean something to you today? You should not be taking criticism from anyone that you would not take advice from. And you know, the last person on this earth that I will take advice from is some hating ass bitch who's trying to use me as a way to make themselves feel better. Don't make them feel worse about themselves. Show them how incredible of a person you are. Continue doing what you're doing. And all they're going to do is watch and hate you more and more. And guess what? Watch, bitch. So just as you begin to lose weight, don't turn your back on your community. Don't turn your back on other plus size people. Help them get to their finish line. But confidence begins with you showing people exactly who you are. So just to recap, you need to be talking to yourself the way that you would expect your friends to. And if you have an environment of people who are toxic, who are not going to help you, or are going to be those hating ass bitches, if you found yourself in a circle or a friendship with one of those hating ass bitches, get rid of that hating ass bitch ASAP. You want to talk about someone that will nuke your ability for weight loss? That's the person. When it came to me and the television show, my aunt, all it was is I had overcome homelessness. I had my apartment. My aunt messaged me and she told me, hey, Corey, I went to my weight loss support and they were filming for this TV show. Here's the link. I took that link and I thought about it and I wasn't going to do it. I truly was not going to. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, I mean, I do have a good story. And I went and I sent a short little letter and I hit send. But guess what? Had I talked to anyone else and told them of that idea and they hit me with a, you shouldn't do that, or, I mean, no one ever gets chosen for those things. And guess what? I never would have fucking done it. And so I'm so happy that when my aunt sent it to me, she was encouraging. And I had the confidence in myself to say, man, I do got a pretty good story, and put that out there. And guess what? That one moment of showing confidence led to the TV show, which led to so much more, which is a big part of the reason why I'm now in the Netherlands. There's so much that came from that one decision of confidence and putting myself out there. But that's what you have to do. You got to put yourself out there. Be happy to be seen as you are, not a slim version, because the slim versions catch up to you very quickly when you're met with the real in person. Because those pictures of yourself where you don't look like you, yes, that may make you feel more confident in that picture. Ooh, look at her. Who is she? That's the question. Who is she? We don't recognize her. Show us who you really are. Love yourself. Confidence is all about loving yourself. If you think that you're going to get confidence as you lose weight, you have another thing coming. If anything, I have more body issues now than I ever did at the beginning of my weight loss. And that's because I got all this loose skin. Everything's not hanging where it should. I can look at that and I can have other people tell me how disgusting it is, or I can choose to be confident in it and wiggle it until, is it great? No. Does it cause body issues? But for me, is it fun? Oh, you have no idea. But just be confident in who you are. Show who you are off. Let us see you now. not the version of you that's going to be skinny one day, not the version of you that's been filtered. Stop filtering yourself or trying to make yourself seem smaller. Show people who you are right now and give people the opportunity to love you and adore you because you deserve that, even if you're 664 pounds. When I lost all this weight, I get all these compliments from people who are like, oh my God, look at you. Congratulations. You must be so proud. And I am. I am so proud of 664-pound me because that bitch is the one who got me here. That bitch is the one who put in all the work. The fat version of me, that's the one who everyone should be thanking. That's the one who everyone should be congratulating because that bitch had to carry the torch so that I could run with it. You're going to lose weight. Your body's going to change and you're going to have whole new body issues. So say fuck the body issues and just fall so unconditionally in love with yourself. And if you don't have people in this world to share those stories with you or to celebrate them with you, you can DM me on one of the apps and I'll celebrate with you. You deserve to have people who do that and you deserve to be seen, loved, but you've also lived in a world that teaches you that you shouldn't be confident. That confidence, especially for someone your size, what do you mean you have confidence? You have nothing to be confident about. Everything, including the weight loss television shows, are made so that you don't feel like you have confidence until after you lose the weight. When you lose the weight, you can come out of the room and you can hang out with everyone else. Until that point in time, sit down, except they don't even want you to sit down. They want you to be at a gym running until you pass out, and then you can get a nap. That is the world in which we were taught to live in, and that is still the world with which we live in to a large degree. But you know how you change it? You change it by going out there and being a confident baddie. I had this girl who transferred in from middle school. She was head to toe absolutely beautiful, and she had so much confidence in her body and who she was. And I was like, man, you can't just walk up in this middle school acting like you're hot shit and not tell me how you do that because we're roughly the same size. Girl, what are you doing? And she was one of those moments where I got to see someone else be confident in my body type, at my shape. And so all confidence is really and truly you just learning to love yourself as you are. And that doesn't mean you're just sitting there willing yourself. It means you're doing things that actively make you feel better about yourself, that make you feel proud about who you are. We're going to go back to dopamine and serotonin real quick. Dopamine, quick fix of reward, hitting a cigarette. Serotonin is quitting the cigarette. And so you need some quick wins. But those wins are going to be sustained by long-term wins because if you're continuing to feel good about yourself, then you're going to continue to do good for yourself. And the more you do good for yourself, the more confidence you're going to have. And it's just going to be this infinity scale for you. And don't let bitches push you around. They may want you to be this version of yourself that makes you feel better. But just like I told them to say that Dr. Proctor killed me on the operating table, you tell them over your dead body. So be confident, wear what you want, see who you want, go do what you want, show up as you are, and just allow the world to enjoy you because you deserve to be celebrated. But also love your fellow plus size baddies, even as you begin to lose weight. And even now, leave a positive comment on their stuff, go out of your way and just show them a little love because they may not be getting it from anywhere else. And if you can drop that little bit of love to your fellow plus size baddie, then do it and let that be the community that we build. And then together, when we've lost all of our weight, them skinny bitches can't outrun us and we gonna catch them. I honestly don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but tune in anyways and make sure to like this podcast, comment down below your non-skill victories, and then the ways in which society has made you feel like you can't exist in your own body because you can. And you're a hot bitch. And anyone who says otherwise can kick rocks, chew rocks, whatever they want to do with rocks, let them do it. But never, ever, ever let anyone question your worth or who you are because you are a badass bitch. Even if you're a dude, badass bitch. Just go be a bad bitch. I'm not even kidding. The entire time I'm walking, I have a playlist. I'll link a playlist in the bio. I think I should share a playlist. I'm going to share a playlist in the bio. Every time I'm walking down the street, I'm walking like I'm that bitch. I'm in a music video in my head. Yes, ma'am. So do that with your life. Weight loss doesn't have to be this horrible, excruciating thing. You should be having so much fucking fun with it. And if you're not, you're doing it wrong. Thank you for listening to Wasted. I'll see y'all next week. Have fun. Be safe.